Okay, Cal, I know it's incredibly hard to pick up your emotions after that, but a loss on penalties, how cruel is football at times?
Yeah, look, I've had some different experiences at different levels. I've never felt as disappointed after a game of football, and I don't mean disappointed in terms of with our players and the contribution, just at the harsh reality of being out of a competition that is important for us, important for the club, important for the players, and I think, like you say, the manner of it and the nature of going out on penalties, but the type of performance we put in, I'm absolutely, well, you can tell.
And I think it would be fair to say that throughout the game, from a personal point of view, I thought you were on top throughout it. The two goals they scored were quite sloppy ones and just lacked of concentration. How pleased with the overall performance of your boys were you?
I think people take the mick out of cliches, but there's a reason people say them all the time about goals changing games and about 18-yard boxes. We've had two opportunities to score in the first half at the bar on the post. We have a set piece that bounces out the back of the box. They have two set pieces, and we're 2-0 down at half time. So you might reference the balance of play, and over the course of 90 minutes, we've created a lot of chances, but they've put the ball in our net the same amount of time as we've put the ball in theirs. I think to offer a context in terms of the performance, that's a phenomenal showing. When you think of the challenges that we've had, I know they've had the same in terms of the 4 weeks off, but they're highly thought of in the division above. They've got some outstanding players, some players that have got experience. They've got England C internationals, two lads that were playing in the Conference North last year, one that was in the National League, and we've gone toe to toe. And we haven't set up in a way that's trying to keep us alive in the game. We've gone, right, let's see what Runcorn Linnets can do when they go up against Morpeth Town, and that for me is a real yardstick as this group of players. Now look, these players are worthy of anyone's support, and I think they've shown that. And the nature of the last 6 months coming into this job, putting a group of players together, with some fortunate to retain some excellent players from last season, try and make additions, and to have done that with the start being delayed, the season being suspended, having to play games away, reverse fixtures early in the year. This group, they don't know how to lose, do they? It takes penalty shootouts, it takes global pandemics to make sure that we don't get 3 points or we don't get through. So there's an immense feeling of pride mixed with an unbelievable level of disappointment. And like I say, I tell it like it is. I think people say, wear me out my sleeve. I think you can see I'm good for the lads.
And I think in previous games, obviously, you've managed to come back from goals down and obviously get the win or get a draw, but obviously it's not materialised today. But what is it about your teams that just never die and never quit?
Well, it's all we want to be judged on. I think in this group, it's a reflection on the type of people that you've got. So I think you can only be so good as players. You can try and build things, try and do things the right way. We've just got a top set of lads, off the pitch, on the pitch. And in terms of what they want to achieve, they all buy into what they want to do. You look at why we lost the game. When you lose, whether it's on penalties, whether it is in 90 minutes, whatever, the buck stops with me, no one else. And I will never, ever shirk that. So because we haven't won, I deserve every bit of criticism. If people want to be critical of us tonight, come and criticise me, because I set that team up. That team that hasn't gone and won the game, that rests with me. In terms of why we never die, that's us. I hope I get to talk about that in a positive sense at the end of the season. That's us. It's a reflection on the players and what we've done. But we need to pick ourselves up. We will play again. I don't know when, but we will play again. We'll have a period of time now to work and try and refine some stuff, hopefully get some players fit. You look tonight, what's missing in terms of the walking wounded. I mean, we haven't had Peter Wiley, the club captain, that we haven't been able to get out on the pitch since his injury against Clitheroe. And there'll be some stuff to look forward to. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend I'm not gutted.
And just finally, obviously, the suspension of the next two fixtures put a bit of a down on things again. Means you can't bounce back straight away. But what will you and the players be doing to prepare for the game on the 26th?
That's my problem. So the way I am, you just try and plan for the next game. I talked to you about it, didn't I, over the lockdown. I think that's why this really hurts, is I thought, right, we could win tonight. Nobody give us a chance, and I talk about mad belief, and people laugh at me for it. It's a theory that I genuinely believe in. I thought we could win the game tonight, and I think you've seen over 90 minutes why we felt that way, and that would give us the opportunity to go into the next round. And you know what? Just play a game next week, and then if we were to be able to win on Tuesday, they might let us play on Saturday as well. So we will look to organise a set of friendlies, because we want our supporters to see us play. They're in a position where they're allowed to under the restrictions. We're going to try and put some games on where they can come and see our lads. We've not been able to play enough home games. But I will be taking the time to just try and step back and say, we played 11 competitive games and nobody can beat us over 90 minutes. I don't think everyone will necessarily take to me. I think this group of players are worthy of anyone's support and are worth getting behind from now, during the suspension of fixtures, over Christmas, through January, through the winter months, right the way to the end of the season. Because I tell you what, I said it in the summer, I believe in them, and I think tonight you've seen them push a team right the way, and I mean the whole way, and they have shown what they're about. So immensely proud. We'll digest that, and at some point I hope that looks to overcome the disappointment. But my feeling in terms of those players is that they're incredible, and I believe in what they're going to do next. The period without games is making sure that when they kick off and again, we're ready to show that again. They deserve immense credit for 4 weeks preparation for one game of football. The challenges that the suspension of fixtures brings, they deserve all the plaudits. And eventually, we've got to get ourselves ready for what lies next, because you know what? The business end of this season will come, and I can tell you now, we mean business.